Good afternoon. I'm John Spector, a member of the class of '78 and a former member of the Board of Trustees here. And this is seminar number 19, The Economy, Up, Down, Sideways, or All of the Above. It took us about a month and a half to come up with that title. It was a lot of hard work. I'm joined by, I'm going to read the script. I'm joined by three illustrious colleagues here at the table. Two fellow alums, John Lipsky, class of '68 and parent '08, who is the first Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, and by Lael Brainerd, class of '83, who is Vice President and Director of the Global Economy and Development Program at the Brookings Institute. And our fourth panelist, a senior member of the administration and obviously unable to navigate his way from next door to here, is Tom Canham, who's our Chief Investment Officer, and he will be here shortly, we hope. There are many different ways to think about the economy, perhaps along some sort of spectrum. At one end might be a very analytical way of thinking, trying to forecast precisely what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. The other end of the spectrum perhaps is illustrated by the location or the setting for today's meeting. Someone in the Wesleyan administration with a good sense of humor put the economics forum in the chapel. And you might think that that perhaps is a spiritual way of thinking about the economy and where it's headed. We might need guidance from a higher authority. I'm not going to opine on which end of the spectrum is more appropriate. You can each choose your position on it. What I can tell you today is that we're not going to be at either end of the spectrum. We're not looking for a higher source of information, but we're also not going to provide specific answers to exactly what's going to happen. In typical Wesleyan fashion, what we will do is share some very interesting information with you and give you a chance to ask, I hope, lots of questions. We're actually going to do a poll or a survey near the end if the technology holds up, and we're going to let you then chew on that and try to come to your own conclusions about up, down, sideways, or all of the above. The agenda, we have four speakers, as I said, and in this order we'll sort of go through. First, John is going to talk about a global view of the economy from the IMF's perspective. And then Lael is also going to talk globally, but she's going to talk about the very long-term macro trends that are influencing the kind of results that John is describing. Tom, when he shows up, is going to discuss the economy from an investor's perspective. Most of us are investors in one form or another. How do investors look at what's going on? And then I'll finish up briefly with some information on how consumers in the United States are looking at the economy and what consumer confidence is, what's going on with that.